If you don't like what you're becoming, then you better examine what you have believed. If you don't like what you're becoming, then you better examine what you have believed. As many as received him, he gave them power to become the sons of God. As many as what? Received him, or as many as believed in him. As many as believed in him, he gave them power to become the sons of God. So there's a belief that gives you power, that makes you to become. So most people normally say, this is what I believe in. But what they are becoming is actually directly opposite to what they have believed. If you don't like what you are becoming, then you better examine what you have believed, because what you have believed is what is supplying power to your becoming. It is difficult to disentangle ourselves from our beliefs, because our beliefs actually are power centers. They are the fuels that position us mentally to begin to have a perspective of life. So if I don't like what I'm becoming, people normally tell you things like this: this is what I believe. So pin them there a bit, let them stay there a bit, and say, okay, if this is what you believe, why is it that you're becoming this? One of the ways of knowing what you believe is sometimes beginning by the end product. What have I become? What results am I producing? And then you work it backwards. You'll most likely find that for the longest time, most likely you have stayed in a state of deception. And that is how sometimes I interrogate myself. If I find myself becoming something that I don't believe, then I have to change what I believe. And sometimes I've captured myself walking in an illusionary framework, thinking, oh, this is what I believe, this is who I am. But when I begin to see the results of what I'm producing, if they're not concomitant to what I believe, then I have to adjust my beliefs. Another thing we have to understand is why we produce wrong results or what we think we believe is because knowing is one thing. Knowing is sometimes actually very easy. Doing is the tougher thing. Doing is what is important. Mark chapter 4 is how the word of God works in our hearts. The sower sowed the seed. We know it. We begin to know it. But you have to go to James chapter 1 to begin to see, how do I become what I know? In fact, the gap between knowledge and belief is called action. If I want to become a proper expresser of what I have believed, I have to act on what I know. You know the word, you act on it, it qualifies that you believe in it. Most people know the word, but they don't do what? Act on it. If you don't act on the word, it doesn't qualify your belief. I know the word, I act on it, then it proves that I believe in that word. And once that happens, then the result of that belief is automatic. So most of us, there's that gap where I am not becoming what I believe because I have actually not done what I know. You know, you act, you believe. Beliefs are actually rooted in the actions of our knowledge. When we act on what we know, we have truly believed. When we just know and don't act, we have not believed. We just know. So most of the times, that's what normally happens in our lives. In the expressions of things to do with, let's say, finances, lifestyle, the things, that life we are producing, the results we are producing as a result of what we have acted on. So sometimes if you're producing the wrong thing, then it means you have knowledge of the wrong thing, and you have now created beliefs based on the actions that have been produced by the wrong knowledge. Know the right thing, act on the right thing, produce good beliefs, and therefore the results of what you believed in becomes more integral, more realistic. So for me, that's what I tell people. You know, you act, you believe. As many as believed him, he gave them power to become the sons of God.